Atlantic City here at DJX 2023, and we've got some new toys for you. This one that I'm going to talk about first came out at midnight. So you are the first people to ever see it. You're the first people that will ever get a chance to touch it down in the booth tomorrow when the exhibit floor opens at 12. After I'm done, I'm going to hand things off to Zimmy. We're going to be going over the Cross 12. A lot of buzz about those. They're amazing. Throughout it, any sounds of music outside of my voice that you hear will be pounding through these Express 12 2-series speakers. Amazing construction, 2,000 watts, wooden box, full adjustment, 16 presets. So what I've done is if I do a wedding at a Hyatt, once I get it tuned the way I want, I go into the presets, set it to Hyatt, and every time myself or another DJ works that venue, all they have to do is go to presets, press Hyatt, and it's already tuned for the room. So we'll be going over that as well. We'll be doing Q&A between, so we can switch over speaker lines. And again, at the end of this, we're going to give somebody a DDJ-REV5. I'm telling you now, these don't come out till September, so we will be sending it to you. You're not leaving the show with it, sadly. How fast they turn on you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wait till the next Bad Bunny request. Yeah, and I'm the bad guy. Yeah, I'm the bad guy now.
Where's Kyle from
Sweetwater? That anyone that didn't hear that earlier, should I do it again?
Yes.
If I do it really fast. But now that you've given the punchline, see me down in the booth, I'll tell you a cool joke. But outside of that, let's start right now, right here with our newest 2-channel controller, the DDJ-REV5. It's part of the REV family, the REV1 and the REV7. What that REV refers to is revolutionary, meaning it is set up in a battle-style configuration. Those of you that started battling, those of you that do turntables now, or the REV7 or REV1, understand that that concept means my pitch is up here on the top. I've got a full-size CDJ-style platter right here. It does not move. We came out with the REV7. Just show us the hands. Who here has a REV7? Okay. Another man in the back does. Yeah, there he is. He's got a REV7, you know. REV7 is its own animal. This is something where a lot of DJs came to us and said, I'm a CDJ type DJ. I'm not coming from the battle world, but I do like the layout. Is there any way you guys could conform it down to something a little bit more CDJ style? So we sat back, did the planning, and said, let's look at small club, bar, mobile DJs who want to pick up something lighter, that can live with 2-channel, that will run 4 decks, but it's 2-channel mixer in the middle. And this is really the outcome of that. Again, this will be in the booth tomorrow, so you all get a chance to mess with it. We'll end a little bit early so people can come up and check it out today as well. So let me just go through it, some of the outstanding features of the DDJ-REV5. Starting over here, outside of the full-size platter, I've dedicated stems. You're messing around with stems now instead of MIDI mapping them. I have them dedicated up here. I can also change these to scratch bank. I can change them to cues. I can do a lot with this on the surface. I've got my looping feature. Up here, I'm going to go into detail in a little bit about our BPM auto transition. The best way to describe this is you set up 2 tracks. You tell it how many bars you want the tracks to mix. Then what happens when you engage it, if you're going from a low BPM to a high, it starts ramping the first deck's BPM up while it ramps the second deck's BPM down. When they meet, it transitions. So you get that really smooth transition going low to high, high to low. So it's not doing an auto mix. You're still moving everything, but it's allowing the BPMs to chase each other in one direction. Really sweet when it syncs up. It's going to be a creative tool that's going to really set you apart any and all events you're working. Coming over here, we have an S-style mixer, and what that refers to is our S5, S7, S11 style as far as the layout is concerned. 2-channel, but it does run 4 decks. I'm going to go into the pad mode in a second because this is pretty amazing, some of the things we have on this as a feature. Up here on the top, all the features you're used to. Locking your effects on and off with the toggle switch. We've had a lot of requests over time for toggle switches instead of just a push button. We've listened, we've brought them in. Then when I get down here to the pads, it's the standard pad modes you're used to, the hot cues, samplers, loops, but this will do 2 pad modes at once. By simply pressing hot cue and sampler, now what I've done is I have samples on the bottom 4, hot cues on the top 4. If you've never used dual Q modes, let me tell you, it's amazing. Once the pad changes on the top and bottom, entirely different game, because now you're accessing 4 different setups on 2 different decks. Just give me 1 sec on this.
Jake, we get some people from the, there's some room
Yeah,
over
there's
here.
some room on the sides over here.
Guys, come on in if you're out in the hall.
So the bottom would just be the top row of your samples, right?
You could do samples in the bottom.
But no, but I mean, like when you do a dual pad, it'll be your top 4 samples.
Yeah, it would be the first 4 that you have.
First 4 of each one stacked, right?
If you do just sample, yeah, it would be 8.
No, like if you do the dual sample, the dual pad mode, the top 4 of each one.
No, top 4 would be the first, like hot Q and sample.
Hot Q would be on the top.
Top
of your first
sample.
4, and then the bottom would be your first 4 samples.
Yes. Okay. Can we just turn up the mic in the room just a little bit more, please? Got a crowd outside.
We've got some seats to fill in on this side if you guys want. There's room against the wall. Come on in.
Bringing more people will obviously lower the ambient temperature of the room as well, because I'm pretty excited about the fact that it's a cool day up here at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in beautiful Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Tornado warning.
Tornado warning tonight at 7 p.m. I'm dead serious. Cousin Lisa sent it to me. It's got to be true. So you not only get to go into dual mode, you get to go into pitch play, where I can take my cue point and then mess around as far as changing the pitch. You say, oh, that's pretty cool. So if I've got, this thing set, and it'll keep it at that pitch. Then when I go back to the original, it'll bring it back. Use it as a transition tool, use it as a remix tool. Where it gets a little bit crazy though, is this. Using the same concept, we've now put in piano mode. So piano mode now allows you to go up in key.
It's kind of hard to tell on the screen, but these are white and these two are blue, almost like you're looking at the black and white keys of a piano.
The red one is always your original cue, so it's your original note, but then you can transition. So again, as Zimmy said, the top row that are blue here are my black keys, the bottom are the white keys. I spent 12 years studying at Juilliard and Berkeley. Don't snide me with my piano ability, okay?
Obviously, bro.
I have things on the wall that state I'm an amazing pianist, okay?
Typo! Okay.
Is the bar open?
Is this a Serato feature or is this a Pioneer feature?
This is
So
working
weird
in
you mentioned
Serato.
that.
And if I didn't say it at the beginning, this is not only Serato, but it is the Record Box DJ as well.
All the same features?
All the features work on both programs?
There's 1 or 2 features that don't. I will get the exact ones that don't. But as it stands right now, everything I'm doing today is run through Serato Pro DJ.
What about the stems? Are they through Record Box?
Stems are through Record Box or Serato. Yeah.
Cool.
So either one of those, either setup is going to work.
Because the stems are actually analyzed on the controller itself, not the actual software, correct?
No,
No.
they're totally done in the software. Yeah. So going into something with stems, it's all being done within the software.
Because I noticed, like, when I run stems on my SRT, my CPU goes up a little bit, but when I run them on my Flex 10, it has the Serato, the stem buttons actually on the hardware itself. It doesn't put that much stress on the CPU.
Are you actively analyzing them, or are you doing it on the fly or before?
I do it on the fly. I don't load them. I don't load them. They aren't analyzed on load.
Right.
I have to actually
You do it per track.
per track.
And this is my new computer. I was using a 2013 MacBook Air that's still floating around the unicorn, as well as 2015's. I'm just going to tell you the hard, cold, cruel reality of this world we live in for stems. If you're not running an M1 series or above, you're going to suffer. It's going to bring the usage down, the heat up, and it is going to bog things. So if you want to get into stems, I'm using them pretty sparingly, and this is an M1 Pro Edition. Try to get a newer computer. we've all gotten away with using 10, 12-year-old computers forever, but the time has come, I'm afraid, with technology, that you really need to get that kind of CP set up. So, you know, this is doing it pretty quickly on the fly because, you know,
Also, your Flex 10 has a
USB-C.
faster processor in it than your 1000 SRT, so it's gonna have a smidge less lag just in
Has
general, but it's gonna
USB-C
happen.
too.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen, but that's, it's gonna happen in your computer.
I have an M1 computer.
And once you analyze your stems on load, the next time you load them,
they're already there.
they already have that information. So
You
it's
will
not-
see a difference with Rekordbox in that because the analyzation feature works differently than with Serato. I find it's quicker. I find it does it more efficiently. It's, you know, it's the way it is. It's the way Rekordbox DJ is kind of designed. Obviously now with a lot of cohabitation that we've got going on, you know, we'll see features change as the future comes as far as things upgrading, but either one of these would work amazingly well with it. The stems thing is a big feature that people have been asking for. Just show of hands. How many people are using stems, different events, weddings? Awesome. Okay, well, good call on the stems feature. Yeah.
Glad I thought of it.
Hey Jay, what do you think about stems? Nobody's going to use them. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to use them, obviously. Wow, that's awesome. And then on the right side, it's mimicking everything on the left side. So really good piece. I see this slotting in. If you're coming off of an SX, even a 1000, if you want to go to just 2 channels with the ability to do dual deck or 3 decks, even with only 2 volumes, this is a piece that you're really going to find works well. It's a lighter weight. It's XLR out. I know a lot of people worry about the famous power bricks and what would happen if the power brick broke or I shut my case and I broke it. This is USB-C. This will run not every computer, so I'm not telling you to do that, but I've run it off this computer with XLR out, with no problems. So in a pinch, I could move my USB-C charger from this to this. I could get a brick that's 12 volt or above and charge this and get it running. So it's just another feature looking at the landscape of what we do for a living and how many of us have closed a case and you're ratcheting it down because it won't close, only to find out that your cable's sticking out a little bit and you're in a pinch the next day. So that's a huge feature in my book. I didn't mention, but this is also 2 USB-C inputs. So I can have 2 laptops. So if I've got a second DJ, if I'm transitioning in a club, and what I mean by transitioning in a club would be another DJ's coming on. I don't want that to be, you know, you don't have to, the transition thing.
Wow.
Just, too soon?
Drinking Bud Light over there?
Is the bar open?
He's got a
Seriously?
tomato.
Will be after this. So again, we've brought features that you wouldn't really expect from a controller at this level, especially something like having the 2 USB inputs. So dual laptops, transition at an event, bringing another DJ in, whatever the case might be. So I want things to move kind of quickly today because it is super hot in here and I want to keep everyone comfortable. So first we'll do this. Questions, things I haven't touched on with the REV5.
2 things I just want to mention that we're not going to get into because we don't have a ton of time, but the pad modes that we discussed about, and the piano mode that's super exciting. We have another mode. I don't know if anybody produces music here, uses Ableton Push, other products that have a chromatic, basically like, I don't know how to play a keyboard mode, help me out. But basically, we can set it so you will never hit a wrong note, which is fantastic. Also with our stems and soloing, you can double tap and go right into solo a stem. You can also solo stem during a transition. Basically, there's so many ways now to mix EQ. You can have your low, mid, and high EQ knobs basically function as knobs for stems if you want to bring your drums, your melody, your vocals in and out with more of a knob feel. So basically, like, however you like to mix, you can get so much more creative with it, so. Bong.
Yes. Any questions about the REV5, things we can go into?
Is the piano mode multi-touch or single touch? So can you play chords or is it single?
Single touch.
Stem mode, you've got low, medium, high, you've got 4 stems. How does that work out? If you want to
On this, with Serato, you have 4 stems. With Recordbox, you have 4 stems as well. 3 stems.
3 right
stems.
now.
Well, with Serato though, if you have 4 stem buttons, correct?
Yeah.
Right, so if you wanted to bring down, say, the bass, and you've only got low, medium, high, you've got 3 knobs.
Vocal, melody, drums.
Melody drum.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Have you tried with a USB-C power off like a power bank, like a little portable charger?
Yes, worked.
Wow.
Don't look, this
We're
is,
not recommending,
this is in
yeah.
case of emergency.
Yeah, I know.
Give me your back. And I'm gonna double up on what Jay said. I just worked at DMC last night. There were people that had issues performing and they were purely laptop based. So like if you're thinking about making that purchase, things are moving. The Serato 3.0 with the stems and this is your cliff. Like if you're on that fence, just upgrade. It's time.
Is this a Serato feature that's coming, or is it already out?
What Serato feature?
As far as the actually using EQ? for-
This is basically just hardware controlling
Yeah.
how you use stems. So this is just effectively MIDI mapping and then how you are bringing them in
This
and
is,
out.
it's all going back through
Yeah.
the software. That's
It's-
like the onboard effects are software effects. They're not onboard hardware
You're saying
where.
I can go home right now and I can EQ my mids or my actual.
If you steal that, yeah.
You
Yeah,
mean in
this
Serato?
is effectively a hardware upgrade. So every time we roll out a piece of hardware, we're rolling out new functionality. So on this new piece,
Okay, so it's on this hardware.
we're giving you
Yeah.
more ways, but it integrates with software and Recordbox seamlessly, so you can.
Well, and to be honest, we're running a beta version of Serato that's coming out with this. So this launch is tied in with a new version of Serato that'll come out. You see that a lot with our products. If we have a big launch, usually the next day or two, you'll see Serato will launch a new that'll include certain control.
So I need to wait for the Rev7 2.0.
As
Get
far
get
as,
the motorized platter to do that.
no. Oh, you mean,
Thanks,
oh,
sir.
will we flash the software, the firmware on the Rev7 to match
Right,
this?
I have
No,
I have a Rev7
yeah,
and
no.
this is cool, but I want the.
You want all those modes on the Rev7?
As
I'm
far as
to
what's going to be
understand,
available.
How much can I pay for that?
Like all the modes on this going into the Rev7?
We can't comment on future firmware updates, but the beauty of firmware is it's updatable. So we try to look ahead, but obviously like there's certain things we can't plan on in the future. So stuff like this, if we can integrate it into a Rev7 update, you're good to go.
Yeah.
The stems, like on the Flex 10, you can use the effects button.
Yes.
Can you do that on them, or you can single like just the vocal and use the effects on
Yes.
just the vocal,
Yes.
or just the drum or whatever, like
Yep.
the echo?
And it's all going to be, again, it's all the software driven.
Yeah,
So you're putting the effects on either one or you're EQing against it.
cool, all right.
Onboard effects and pre-fader, post-fader.
Post fader not on board, on software, but post fader.
Can you explain how the BPM transition thing works, that new?
The way it works is you tap 2 tracks. Let me load tracks.
Anybody here have a Flex 10? That guy? Wow. Shout out that guy. So if anybody went to NAMM or saw any demo videos, shout out Priyanjoni, PJ right here that makes our videos. If anybody watched the Flex 10 videos, you can see an example of how you can basically start to pick transition points. So effectively you can line up 1 point on track A, 1 point on track B, and when it reaches track A point, it'll start to cue track B, and it'll mix based on how far in it is. Same thing here, only it will actually change BPMs for you. So you're at 95 and you need to get up to 110. You just basically pick, I mean, there were some other products like, what was the app that would DJ for you, Pyro or whatever. Like, it's basically the same concept. It'll find the median, and over the amount of bars that you select, it will do the transition for you, which is great if you have to go to the bathroom. Yes, sir?
Is there a chance of seeing like the REV5 with motorized platter, kind of like a REV10 coming out?
It's never enough.
Seriously?
Basically what happens is like we have the Rev1, which is entry level. I just started DJing. I don't know if I want to like commit a huge paycheck to this. Let me try it out. This is our mid-level, but still I would call this pro. You know, you could definitely take this somewhere, and the quality is such. You've got the big boy inputs, outputs, all that, and then the REV7 is our highest, like, premium pro level. So we probably, I mean, I can't say, but I think, you know, you would go from your Toyota to your Lexus.
I own the 1 and the 7.
Yeah.
The one's my,
Hey, well, bro, there you go. Complete the set. Aren't you a collector?
I probably will.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Two questions. One, can you set where that BPM heat point will be? Does it have to be right in the middle, or can you set it up a little bit higher, a little bit lower? And part two, since this is all software driven, is that a feature that's going to be rolled out to other controllers, or is this going to be solely for REV5?
He's learned how to DJ. We'll get it. I mean,
Juilliard.
yeah. He's more of a piano player.
I'm not one of those big flashy, cool club guys. I make a lot of money doing weddings, so I apologize up front. Like I'm just like,
A good rule of
no,
thumb
the
is anytime.
transition tracks work really well. It's coming up with the tracks you're going to use, because that's an example of just two. It doesn't. It's moving the BPM, so at least it gives you the spectrum of tracks playing. This is playing slow now because I matched it up to a Bad Bunny track. Bad Bunny track's playing normal because it transitioned over. So it ends up taking the two tracks and moving them into their own spot.
Come see us on the floor tomorrow. To your second question, a good rule of thumb is anytime a new big software change happens, it's usually not available on future updates. I mean, we wouldn't get rid of something that's available. Like, again, what we said before is this hardware is effectively giving you new ways to use the software, the way you can stem EQ with the knobs and things like that. So it's almost like a glorified MIDI mapping.
What's the retail of that gonna be?
Retail of this is
$10.99.
$10.99.
Unless you buy from Amazon.
Excuse me?
The RX3, with these features, would it be an upgrade for the stem?
You mean will a firmware update on the RX3 feature these?
Oh, sorry.
Yo, gong. I can't really comment on what's going to be in firmware updates in the future. I don't necessarily work on that, but anything is possible.
Yes.
Anybody else? Moving on. All right. We're going to do a quick audio changeover, and then we're going to show you guys the Cross 12. Nope, we don't really.
Why am I getting no volume on this one?
Nope. It's a sign from God. Just
No
unplug
kidding.
it.
Wow. Do you want to just kill that one?
God hates air horns.
Apparently.
Yep, don't step on that. Yep.
You got enough?
I just need the thumbnail.
You got it over there? All right, again, anyone that's just joining us, if you haven't given us your business card, that's what we're going to be using at the end of the seminar for the giveaway.
Yep.
Giving away a REV5 and Cross 12.
Are you giving away the whole set?
To be determined.
Yep.
Can we leave with that then?
No.
Right
Business
over
card's
here
right
to Jay's left. There's
Yeah.
a box. Drop your business card. Can you guys hear me in the back?
Check
Yes.
1-1.
Awesome.
The
Awesome.
reality is these haven't come out. So no, if you win, you are not leaving with them. They're not out till September. So you'll be first in line to get one for free if you win it.
Get Yep.
As far as an update form?
Yeah, is anything, because I noticed like at the time got that little wavy that like it kind of fades out. You know what I
Yeah, we're working on an update with Record Box. I don't know about Serato, where they are with it.
The XZ?
Yeah, Record Box will
Not
update.
yet, but
I
that
don't know
might be in
about
a
Serato.
firmware update.
What's
You
that?
can still trigger stems from your computer, but as far as having
Excuse me, could we just turn the
hardware-
microphones for us up a little bit more? I guess they're having a problem in the back of the room hearing us.
Yeah, 3x3 and 1 off.
Oh,
Yep.
couldn't hear it? Okay.
All right, check, check, check. All right, everyone grab a seat. We're gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey,
Yeah.
we got. They're saying they can't hear the music, so I'll just turn it up.
Can you guys hear that? Yeah. Cool.
All right, folks, we're going to turn things over now to Zimmy, and we're going to focus in on the Cross 12, PLX Cross 12, our digital analog hybrid turntable.
How you guys doing? Awesome, awesome. If you guys are in the hallway, we have some room. Come on in, squeeze in against the wall. Sweet. What up, Rambo? I'm Zimmy. So how many people here, show of hands, turntable is your weapon of choice? 41% and climbing. Started on him and then he gave up. Depends on the day. I get it. We're gonna get you guys back. We're gonna convert you guys back. They're heavy, and you, bro, I'm looking at your arms. You need to get a little more, you know what I mean? You get some turntable cases, 3 sets of 8 or something. All right, so I'm sure you guys saw online. This is our newest, most excitingest. I'm so exciting about this. This is the Cross 12. So for those of you who use needles, for those of you who have had issues with turntables, needles, tone arms, etc. before, we're trying to eliminate all that. So basically what we've got here is number one, our best turntable ever. I don't know if you guys have put your hands on the PLX-1000. This is even better than that, everything about it. So I'm gonna walk you through here. I'm gonna go like section by section. So if you guys, I'll stop after each section. And if you guys have any questions, just put your hand up. So full-size turntable, matches in every way, size-wise. If you have road cases, you can use it, etc. Starting on the outside, murdered out matte black. We love that. Big feature underneath, we redid the underside. I don't know if you guys ever use turntables. You're trying to run wires out and you can't get them because it's smashing them down. There are ditches, for lack of a better word. No matter if you run these battle style or house style, or you can run your wires cleanly in any direction. It won't sit on top of them. USB-C, everything's good there. Starting right here, I don't know if anybody ever used like dicers back in the day, but this is a big feature. No? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so basically right here, I don't know how well you guys can see, so I'm just gonna kind of explain it to you. Right here, you've got your shift button. You've got a 5 through 8 button. So basically these are your buttons effectively 1 through 4. This button right here will give you, if you've got 8 hot cues, that would be hot cues number 5 through 8. You've got hot cue, you've got sampler dedicated buttons. You can shift and tap right here. You can do instant doubles if you hit that. You can get into stems right here. So we have dedicated stem mode right there. So you can rock hot cues, let's say 4 hot cues, 4 sampler pads, 4 stem buttons, all on one side. Like you can basically have every possible bank open at one time. Over here, we've got the scratch bank, boom, depending on how you like to scratch, whatever. If you double tap these, you've got your roll right here. You've got your save loops right here. And the colors will change to indicate they're matching what we already have on your S11, on your S7, all those products. So, you know, in a dark room, if you can't read it, you're good to go. So go back to hot cues. You've also got your parameter buttons here. So if you want to scroll through your scratch banks or your sample banks, you've got your left parameters here. You've got your right parameters here. So you can basically control a lot of the mixer right from here. Anybody have any questions about that? In case you're wondering what that looks like, this was playing.
You don't have the
Up. We'll get to that in a second. Basically, you can control all 4 decks from each one, so I had it on deck 2. So deck 1. So you can run all that from just one side. It's recessed, so if you lean on it like, yo, man, what's up? You're not going to push any buttons. Cool? Sweet. moving along. We'll get to the fun part in 1 second. Up here, you've got your tempo range, 8, 16, and 50. You've got step pitch. Now, step pitch focuses on the pitch of the track versus the BPM. Can you guys see? I'm going to take this off. There you go. Ah, there you go. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to tell you what this says. You've got tempo range 8, Serato, which if I switch this, you're in record box. These work with Serato and record box. Right here, it tells you what deck you're on. You can go deck 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're the kind of DJ that uses dual deck mode, you can go through 2 different decks right here on your controls just by switching that button. The key is 1A. It's going to give you your key readout for any of your tracks that are analyzed. You've got your BPM right here. Now, if I go to step pitch mode, let's go to, let's load that one on that side, actually. Use the instant doubles. And we'll. Okay, so I'm going to go into step pitch mode. Now, it's telling me my step pitch is G minor. Now, I'm going to change the pitch, but it's going to jump in pitch increments. So instead of going like 87, 86, 85, 84, it's going to jump every time it goes far enough to jump into another key, if that makes sense. So if it goes like A, B, C, it's going to jump to whatever tempo that would be. So it jumped the whole way to 69 to change 2 keys. 82, 87, 92. So if that makes sense, I don't know if anybody in here does routines, battles, 3-style. You can get a clear readout of what pitch you're going to. So if you're mixing dance music, for example, you know this is in 10A and you want this to be in 10A, you can hit that. You can basically match the key. The tempo will adjust automatically. Sync it. You're good to go. Cool? Cool. Awesome. Yes. So as far as just a general turntable too, this has switch power. So we'll get into this clamp in a second, but it's also going to be probably the lowest feedback turntable you can find if you're someone who uses actual vinyl. So looking back at this little screen here, I'm going to kind of dictate. You can see here at noon and 2 o'clock, we got your markers. If you're a turntablist, you got your records marked. You want to know where you're at. We put that on there for you. We soaked it. So basically right here, we've got a utility function. You go into there. Now, firmware in your turntable is a lovely thing because you can update firmware. The motor has firmware. We can update everything. So right here, it's telling me I've got version 1.0. It gives you a little readout. It tells you that your shift button is enter, your 5 through 8 is exit. So we're going to jump through. There's your version 1.0. Torque adjust. Let's go into that. Enter, high. You've got 3 torque settings for your turntable. Maybe you like the PLX-1000. Perfect. Maybe you like a Vestax. There you go. Maybe you like a Techniques that's got like a little bit of wear to it. There you go. Depending on whatever feel you want, you've got 3 different torque modes. Boom. Enter into that. You can change the brightness of the LEDs. If you're playing in a dark club, you can adjust right there. Auto standby, factory reset, boom. As we come out with new crazy things, you can just update the firmware on your turntables and you're good to go. Any questions?
Bright sunlight, playing by the pool. Boom.
I mean, it's white on black. We haven't tried it yet, but I don't know if you have a problem. Excuse me?
Can you see the colors in the sunlight?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually different than these buttons too because these are just full on. These have black with around the side and they're recessed, so I think you're gonna have better luck. Moving over to your light, you've got a bottom blue light that allows you to track your strobing, make sure your turntable is. Question, we'll get to you in 1 second. And you've got a needle light on top, so you got the best of both worlds. Question from my guy.
The display, is that orientation going to be able to be changed at some point, you think?
It is not. Well, as I understand, we tried some things if you went house style and to switch the orientation, but the way the display is, it didn't really look right. So unfortunately, you're just gonna have to DJ battle style from now on. Welcome to the club. Yes?
Can you choose between notation style and alphanumeric? Can you choose between notation style and alphanumeric? 1/8 or G minor or?
That's just gonna pull right from your Serato, so if your Serato's in Camelot or whatever, it's just reading it right off of there. If your tracks aren't analyzed, the turntable isn't gonna analyze the key, so it's 2023, analyze your tracks. Anybody else? All right, so we've also got a motor off button right here. Every other turntable on earth has the giant thing that sticks up here that you accidentally hit when you're DJing. It turns off, and then you're talking to Jay, and the record is going like that. We got rid of that. We did do a motor off. When you trigger that, if you trigger that accidentally, this starts blinking to let you know you actually triggered it, but it's such a long delay. You've got plenty of time to turn it back on without anybody really noticing, so there's that. On the back here that you can't really see, we've got 3 different brake options for you. This is our aggressive brake.
That's aggressive.
We've got a mid-level brake. And we've got bang. Anybody? Cool, sweet. So, exciting thing. Basically, this is a full-size functional. I can play a vinyl regular record with a tone arm and a needle. I can trigger a Serato or record box vinyl with it, but also it's effectively a full-size controller. Okay. Right here, we've got your clamp that sits on top. It's a Magvel clamp, same people that make the amazing faders. It goes right here, locks in, so if you're putting these in a case and moving around, you're not gonna lose them. Yes, you can't buy replacements. Don't be that guy. Slides on here. This on top is adjustable. You've got a light, a medium, a heavy setting, but you can basically go anywhere in between there. What happens is underneath, it actually has a floating spindle that comes up that meets with the clamp. So if you've got a record that's got some warp to it, it's a little pringled, you can actually smash it down to the platter so it's flat. The grip on this thing, between the 3 torque modes you can pick and the endless combinations here, it's probably the most customizable turntable feel you can find. And we tested this with like the best of the best. Also, this clamp dampens feedback. I know if you guys are playing vinyl, you might have that problem. So between this and the motor, your feedback should be basically non-existent. All you do is hit a button here, you're in digital vinyl. You would go to analog, put the needle down, you're good to go. Switch that over to phono. What else? Questions?
Is there time code on that vinyl?
This vinyl is time code. This is not HID. We went through all of that. So if you've got a USB-C in the back right here. I just unplugged it, it's still playing. We love that. You have a problem, you're good to go. Let me plug that back in real quick. Yeah. What else can I tell you guys?
So the USB is just for the pads?
USB is just for mixer control, yeah. It's just sending that data. There we go. My lovely assistant PJ, I turned the power off accidentally.
Scratch with that vinyl.
Excuse me?
Scratch with that vinyl, just the setting.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you guys have seen videos from other products that are similar where guys take the record off and they do the thing, but basically, if you're worried about that, there's no butter rug under there. Let's put that back on. Same concept. It's going to clamp down hard to whatever you got on there. You could use a dinner napkin. Super excited, kid?
Oh,
You got a question? He's just super excited. I need everybody in here to have that kid's level of excitement. Let's do a jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
He got the Rev7 from us last year. He
Oh.
got a Rev7 in the booth last year.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, so he's been rocking that.
Questions?
So does it read it from the clamp? Is that where it's reading it from?
Basically, you got to really mess some stuff up to have a problem with your record. So
We had a planner take a napkin, put it on the platter, put the mag bell clamp on the napkin and scratch your chamber. So it's, if you go out and you're in a sunny environment, you forget time code gets wrecked. Even if it's warped a little bit, it's gonna unwarp with that mag bell clamp. But 120 degrees in the sun, you're still scratching because it doesn't matter what's there. It's just a slip mat, you're fine.
Go get a piece of cardboard, like literally, if it's like the sun's killing, like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Is it lighter than the PLX-1000? It is.
yes.
It's even lighter than our last turntable. You can still, I still recommend you doing a couple curls, sir, you specifically, but,
Maybe
yeah.
a weight belt, I don't know.
Yeah.
You wanna watch the lower back injuries do this? But it's actually about a pound lighter than our PLX 1000.
Yeah. Anybody? What do you guys think? Kids like, oh yeah. So basically, this is it. You buy one of these, you're kind of done for life. It's a firmer, updatable turntable.
Are you guys giving away 2 of them or 1 of them?
We're giving away half of one. So we're gonna pull 2 cards and you guys can share one.
It's a clamp. One gets
You get 1 clamp and the cables.
Honestly, and you'll see why. Yeah, no, you won't see why, but we're giving away 1. So you're gonna get 1 cross 12, or you're gonna get 1 REV5. And again, these will be out in September. So the winners today will get all your information, and then once they're ready to ship, you'll probably be first on the list. You'll get it. By then, you will have saved a little more money to buy the other one. Hook it up with your S11. All right, that's it. No more entries.
Anybody have any more questions about any of this stuff before we pull prizes?
Shake the box.
These will be in the booth downstairs. We'll have vinyl you can play on. Super excited kid. Super excited kid's gonna come up and pull a winner. Come on up, bro. Make some noise for super excited kid. Blake.
Reach and pull one out. Or just one first, and then we'll do a second one. Want to announce it?
Shivish Entertainment.
All right.
Now, you shake it a little bit.
You ran 1
That's going to be the REV5. This one is going to be for the Cross 12.
Serato vinyl.
Here it comes. Andromeda DJ Entertainment.
All right.
Awesome. Now, if you're one of the winners, thank you so much, sir. It's always a pleasure. If you're one of the winners, you just got to come up so we can get all your information. If you want to come up, check out Cross 12, REV5. Again, we're going to have everything in the booth. Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. Hey, before everyone bails out, even if you didn't win and stuff, if we could just get a photo